I know about you. Before we jump into the topic at hand, I would like to remind everybody that I started a brand new channel recently called Topic Arlo. Really big news stories and, of course, reviews and more scripted content are going to stay right here on the main channel. But then if you want more, Topic Arlo is all about, casual videos, kind of exploring smaller news stories. It's quick, it's casual, it's simple. It's a place where I don't have to worry about views and all that. I can kind of just talk about whatever I want. I've actually been releasing videos almost daily. That really was not the plan going into this, and yet I've just been having so much fun and the response has been so great. So if just a lot more of me rambling about stuff, if that sounds good, please go check out Topic Arlo. And now on to the topic of this video, which is very big news. I like to imagine that there is a feud raging at Nintendo. It's definitely not. All of this is obviously just Nintendo doing business in whatever way they deem appropriate, necessary, efficient. But I've got kind of a headcanon going. There is a feud, and this feud involves putting humongous announcements in casual tweets. Just announcing just the hugest news, casual, just kind of throwing it out there. Nintendo is a company that is known for big surprises, putting on big shows to make these big announcements that hype everybody up, and everyone at the Nintendo store is going crazy. They know that we love that. They have a reputation for doing that. Every company does it to a degree, but Nintendo, they are the champions of the bombshell announcement. So when Miyamoto just kind of hopped on Twitter and casually announced, "Hey everybody, we're making a live-action Zelda movie. See you later, I'm gonna go have dinner and not talk about this again." It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And the second Mario movie was announced, it was at least tied to the whole March 10th celebration, but it was also pretty casual. The Zelda movie one though, that coming from Nintendo, it was just so unusual, so shocking. And again, my headcanon is that it kind of became a thing at Nintendo, and President Furukawa, he didn't want Miyamoto to be the only one having this kind of fun. He wanted to get in on this. So I imagine that one night, he's laying in bed. It's 11 p.m. He's got his phone. It's dark, but he wants, he's feeling a little silly. He wants to do one little thing before bed. He wants to stick it to Miyamoto. So he tweets this. "This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It will have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024, but please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation." So, yeah, it was just a tweet. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the news right there. I mean, it's like the equivalent of you announcing that you're getting married, but you don't post pictures, you don't give any real information, you don't call anybody, you don't say it to anyone in person, you don't even put it on social media, you just email it to everyone in your contacts list. Just be like, "Hey everyone, getting married, bye. I will be getting married to someone within the next year. Thank you, have a good day. Dear everyone I know, having a baby, bye." Just no further information. You don't even know when you're gonna get it. I love it. Just dropping it on Twitter. Just the most pure, simple form of communication to the highest number of people possible. Okay, so Nintendo has officially, finally, after all of this time, after all these rumors and everything, they have finally acknowledged that the next system is coming. They have acknowledged it. Now, Furukawa does not say what it is here. He simply says that it is the successor. That doesn't even necessarily mean that it's gonna be the next Switch. Successor to the Switch really does, I do believe it's gonna be related to the Switch. I think it'll be another Switch, but technically, this just means the thing that comes after the Switch. And we already know that it's coming, so perhaps this doesn't really mean anything big, but I don't know. I think it does. acknowledging it finally, it does mean something. And I think that that means they're just about ready. They weren't ready to talk about it up to this point. You know, they don't want to inhibit Switch sales. They don't want everybody to feel for years that the next system is coming. And so there's a lot of people who might, oh, maybe I should just wait. I shouldn't buy a Switch. They don't want that to happen. But it just means that now, for whatever reason, they really are ready. They're kind of at that tipping point where, sure, maybe knowledge of the next system might inhibit sales a little bit, but it is more beneficial to start building hype for the next system. They just reached that point, the equilibrium. It is kind of turned over, where now it is more beneficial to start getting that rumor mill, I don't know, working even harder, I guess, to get that hype kind of rumbling and building up. It's a very small starting point, but it is something. And of course, it could also just be they're annoyed by all of the Switch 2 discourse, and they wanted to give us something. They wanted to give us a breadcrumb. Maybe they are tired themselves of all of the rampant speculation, and they don't want all of this talk about Switch 2 to distract the conversation away from everything else that they do. And I could see this as well. Everything they do during this year, it's a bit of a breather year. It's a little more casual, more remakes and stuff. So like, they probably genuinely don't want every single tweet, every single announcement, everything to just be filled with where is the next system? Where is Switch 2? They wanted to kind of ease some of that tension, especially going into the next Nintendo Direct. They didn't want there to be all of this speculation about something that doesn't end up happening, kind of taking the conversation away from social media, it's important. All of this engagement is important, and they really do want to focus on these games that they are putting out without too much distraction. And it is very funny, like confirming that there's gonna be a June Direct. We almost never know that a Direct is coming this far ahead of time, and yet it was worth it. Like early May, it's not even June yet. It's not even almost June. Early May, they were like, you know what? There's gonna be one. It's weird that we're telling you this, but we want to tell you this just so that you know. Between now and that, like, I guess they didn't want us building up. Okay, if everyone expects that there's a system coming, probably early next year, this means that an announcement is imminent, and if you didn't have a Nintendo Direct in February like you usually do, suddenly there's so much expectation on a big event happening in June. So much. So I can see there why they're just like, you know what? Please just don't. Let's not have Switch 2 dominate the entire conversation. Let's just have a nice June Direct talking about the Switch and all the Switch games and games coming for the second half of the year, which is actually really nice to know because the Switch really doesn't have anything going for it for the second half of the year. All the stuff that was announced last year, it's happening in the first half of the year. We don't even know if there's going to be a holiday title this year, so I'm really, really excited to know what the second half of the year looks like for Switch. So yeah, I think this is great. Overall, it's kind of, it acts to officially start to build that kind of hype machine coming from Nintendo themselves by acknowledging the system exists while still tampering our expectations and just being like, hey, look, let's just focus on the Switch for now. It is coming, but it's not coming right now, so let's all just chill, And he says, we will make an announcement about the successor within this fiscal year. Unfortunately, this fiscal year kind of recently started. The fiscal year turns over in March. Every single March, that is basically the end of one year and the beginning of a new fiscal year for Nintendo. So really, within this fiscal year means leading all the way up to next March. So technically, we might not even get an announcement until March, until 10 months from now. Personally, my guess is early next year, January. Another January presentation, just like we had with the Switch. I think originally the plan would have been different, like when they thought they were going to be launching the Switch 2 or whatever it is this year. I think it would have been different, but now that they've delayed it into next year, according to the rumors, which I do believe, I feel like it only makes sense for them to kind of line up the launch of the next system with the launch of the Switch itself. You don't want to announce it before the holiday season. That really will get people not buying as many Switches because they're waiting for the next system, or at the very least, it's going to distract everybody away from whatever is coming to Switch. They want the Switch to have one more good year, so I think early next year, I think January, we're going to get another big presentation, and then the next system will release either right there at the beginning of the fiscal year, or maybe a little bit after that, maybe a little bit further into the spring. We're really not sure. It is at least possible that they will start talking about the next system this fall. I mean, technically with the Switch, that is kind of what they did. They announced it before the holiday season. They did, and then they had the big presentation revealing everything about it in January. They could do that again here. They could at least get everybody excited. They might just say, okay, it doesn't really matter if, how many people are actually, after all of these years, holding out to get a Switch 2. Is it actually going to impact sales that holiday season? I don't know, maybe not, especially if they have some, a big price cut or some huge kind of bundle or some really big game coming to Switch this holiday. They might be confident there. Anyway, I'm just getting really deep in the speculation. We don't need to get in the weeds about how exactly they're going to announce it. Whatever the case, it's probably going to be a while. It's going to be like later this year at the absolute earliest that they will announce it, maybe even next year. I'm just happy that it is confirmed. It just feels good. It doesn't really make sense why it feels good. We knew it was coming. It's just nice that they officially announced it. I don't know, and I still see naysayers who just insist, nah, next system isn't coming until 2049 at least. I don't get it. So at the very least, it feels good. We're all on the same page now. We're all on the same page. There is a new system coming next year. There is. It is confirmed. It is confirmed by Nintendo. And that's nice. And it's also nice to have confirmation about a Direct next month. That's just nice. I mean, like, I figured there probably would be. You can't skip a major Direct and then just skip, like, another one. We really don't know what's coming to Switch in the second half of the year. So that's nice. It's nice just kind of like just scooting through May, knowing that there's going to be a nice Direct in June. It's a good feeling. So there you go. Another chapter in this epic feud between Miyamoto and Furukawa. I mean, is someone else going to jump in on here? Koizumi? Just like one random day in like July, he'll just be like, hey, we're working on a new 3D Mario and it's open world. Bye. I don't know. Maybe is Miyamoto just looking at this, just like, oh, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna announce something crazy. Well, thank you for watching, and Switch 2 confirmed. See you later.